Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to a new episode. Today I'm going to show you guys how to achieve 400 horsepower on an RB25. Everything stock, unopened. I'm just going to show you guys the bolt-on mods around the car, like the injectors, turbos, fuel pump, all that stuff. And I'm going to go through pricing with you guys from lowest to highest. And at the end of this video, we're going to add up all the price and show how much exactly it costs to make 400 horsepower on an RB25. Before I show you guys what to do, like what mods to get, how much they're worth, I'm going to show you guys a short clip of me just boosting my car. I'm driving about 40% in this clip, so you can imagine if I was driving full throttle at 100% how crazy this car actually is. So this is about 45%, I'd say, of driving. Alright, let's get to the mods. Alright, so right there is my hypergear G3 high-flow turbo. So this is basically a stock R33 turbo, just fully high-flowed servo. So they do all the internals, make everything stronger so you can run bigger boost. And with these turbo setups, you have to run a different actuator. You can't use the stock one. So I've chosen the Mamba actuator. It's hard to see down there. I can't really fit the camera in there. Running the Mamba actuator on 18 PSI spring. So if you guys want to get this turbo and run an actuator, I'd suggest getting a Mamba actuator and running 18 PSI spring in it. And with the hypergear G3 turbo, like I'm only at like just near 400 horsepower, right? But there's still plenty of power to go in my turbo. I just need to change my front mount intercooler. I'm going to talk about front mount intercooler as well after this. But with my G3 turbo, there's people out there that are making 350 kilowatts on E85 with these turbos. Like these turbos are insane. I highly recommend them because they're bang for your buck. They're only $900 to service it. And that's like, and you also get an oil feed line with it because the factory oil feed line doesn't feed enough oil to it. So Teo from Hypergear supplies an oil feed line and that feeds enough oil into this turbo. So the front mount intercooler, I want to see how much power I can make with a return flow cooler. As I said, I made 281 kilowatts on E85 with this front mount. It was just boost dropping, so that's the reason why everyone's like, don't run these intercoolers. But if you want to run powers from like 350 horsepower up, just under 400 horsepower, these intercoolers are fine for that. So anyway, I've been recommended an Aeroflow 600 by 300 by 100 intercooler. And the difference is that there's no pressure drop in that. So once I get that intercooler and get a retune, this car should easily crack just over 400 horsepower without an issue. And an Aeroflow, I think that's about $300 just the cooler by itself, the piping not included, so it depends where you get the piping in that. So I'm just going to say intercoolers can range from anywhere from like $300 to say $1,000. Alright, now for the coil packs. And with the coil packs, you definitely need a good brand coil pack. Don't get Yellow Jackets. I know they're cheap, but just throw in the extra $200 and get them at Kudos Motorsports. They're about $550, including shipping. And these coil packs are amazing. Like, I've had no issues with them. These have been running perfect. Now for the oil catch can, which is just down there. Oil catch cans are very crucial, especially for drifting, racing, especially if you're running more power. The oil catch cans can range from anywhere from $70 to probably $300. My oil catch can is a radium, so those are a good quality catch can, so they're about $149. So I'm just gonna set that as $149. All right, fuel pressure gauge, and I've got Bosch 1000cc top feed injectors with a Raceworks fuel rail, and I've got E85 compatible Racework hose. So when it comes to injectors, they are a bit pricey, but in the long run, they're gonna make your car run a lot of power. If you wanna keep the factory rail, you can get Nismo 740cc side feed injectors, but the problem is you can't run E85 on those injectors. That's why I went to the top feed Bosch 1000cc injectors. So I'm not really sure how much these injectors are worth by themselves, depends where you go. So I got my top feed injectors, fuel rail, fuel pressure regulator. You need a fuel pressure reg. I'd say it was about $1,200 for that whole thing together. Now with the blow-off valve, this is a factory blow-off valve. You don't need to spend like $200 to $300 on a fancy blow-off valve. The factory blow-off valves can do just fine, and if you just block them off, then you can go. A lot of people run electronic boost controllers. Because I've got the Haltech ECU, I don't need an electronic boost controller. I can run the boost pressure from the laptop, so I just plug in the ECU into my laptop, and I can control it from the boost solenoid from my laptop, and I can tell the ECU how much boost to run on my car. So hopefully when I get a few things done, new cooler, I'll be able to run about 20 PSI on this car. And right there is my fuel flex sensor. That's because I'm running E85 and 98 unleaded fuel, so 98 octane, but I'm just gonna keep my car on E85. And these parts are up to about $150, let's say. All right, now for the exhaust setup. I have a dump pipe, so I've got the factory manifold that runs to a dump pipe, which runs to a high flow Venom high flow cat that goes into a 3-inch straight back exhaust. So the pricing between the dump pipe and the high flow cat and the straight back exhaust, I'd say all add up, maybe, just depends where you get it really. So I reckon all add up the pricing of the whole exhaust from the dump pipe to the high flow cat to the straight back exhaust, I reckon it's gonna cost you about up to $600, I think. All right, for the ECU, I chose the Haltech Platinum Plug-in Pro because you don't have to wire anything up. It just connects straight up to your harness perfectly. I originally wanted a Power FC because of the hand controller, because they look so sick. Let's be honest, a Power FC controller, when you have them stuck up on the dash, they just look like they're perfect. It just has that 90s JDM vibe to it. But anyway, with my Haltech Platinum Pro, they are expensive. I'd say the lowest you're gonna find them is like $1,900, but they are worth it because you can have them forever. You can run your laptop to them, and you can just diagnose everything basically on these ECUs. And the good thing about it is you can set a password on your ECU. So with the R33s, a lot of people run different ECUs, like you've got the Nistune, the Link ECU, you've got the Power FC, the Haltech. I've chosen the Haltech as I just talked about. So I'm just gonna say an ECU for a good one is gonna cost you $2,000. So this is my fuel pump relay mod. So it runs from the battery to my fuel pump. So I've got a Walbro 460. I'm gonna go back inside the car and talk about this fuel pump and why it's better than the 255 fuel pumps of Walbro. Alright, so when it comes to running power on your R33 or any car, you definitely need a fuel pump. The factory fuel pump is just rubbish. A Walbro 255, they're alright, but you're not going to get much out of it compared to a Walbro 460. And the good thing about the Walbro 460 is that in the future, if you decide to go E85, at least you got an E85 compatible fuel pump. And these fuel pumps are amazing. Like, you just need to do that relay mod. If I can do it, you guys can do it. It's very simple to install the relay mod. You definitely need it for this 460 Walbro fuel pump. And they're relatively cheap. I'd say the average pricing of a Walbro 460 fuel pump is about $200. Check out Kudos Motorsports. I'll put their link in the description and you guys can check them out. Just calculated how much everything costs and how much I spent on mods on my car, and it is a whopping $6,280 I've spent on mods. And you got to remember, if you guys take your car to get something done to it, there's going to be labor charges as well. So I did a lot of this stuff by myself. Luckily, Chasers did my injectors, they did the wideband unit and the air intake temperature sensor and the tuning. And the thing is with tuning, if you wanted to get tuned on 98 fuel, that's about $1,000 something, I guess, I think it is. because I got a E85 tune as well, so this is how I know how much it's going to cost. So getting a 98 tune on E85 as well takes about 3 days. So one day is on 98, the next day is on E85, and then the blend fuel, and then the cold start. So that's about $2,500 on top of this $6,280 as well. So if you guys could imagine why it took so long to do this, like I was working so hard, working, paying off parts, working on my car, working, paying off parts, working on my car. It's like a stressful cycle, but once you get it all done, it's all worth it. Also guys, I forgot to add in the video, but I'm not going to include it in the budgets. With clutches and LSDs, with the clutch, go to Kudos Motorsports, go to the Exceedi extra heavy duty clutch. That thing is rated at 700 horsepower and it's only $670. Like that's bang for your buck clutch, and that's the clutch I'm going to be ordering soon. So once this clutch starts slipping after a few drift events and whatnot, definitely going to hit up Kudos Motorsports. And with my diff is complete shithouse, doesn't spin two wheels all the time. So what I've done is I've got a Nismo 2-way on its way. I can't wait to get this diff. I'm going to do an install video on the diff. So hopefully you guys look forward to that, and we can finally start doing drift videos. So that way we know that the diff is actually going to spin both the wheels, so we can actually link corners, hold better angles instead of this diff screwing up everything. And in the comment section, I'm going to put down some shops that you guys should check out. Like these shops are amazing. So we've got Otaku Garage, Kudos Motorsports, Just Jap, Hypergear Turbos, and then check out Chase's Motorworks, because they can do work on your car and they can also tune your car. So when something stuffs up, they got mechanics that can just spot out the problem and fix it for you. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap up this video. Before I go, hit that like button, comment down what you want to see next, comment some questions about what you want to do with your mods. Surely we can help you out. There's people out there online watching this video that can help you out too. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button, because there's definitely going to be some crazy shit. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. See yas.